let's get back to the question.
Sure.
I'm not worried about them at all. To be honest with you, they looked a lot better than. It's ways you can lose. You're gonna lose basketball games, but it's how you lose them. The second quarter, that was their Achilles heel. That second quarter killed them. They wasn't able to get over the hump after that. After they had the nice lead, they gave it back up. So you tip your cap off to Washington. I think Cleveland could have played a little better defense in that second quarter. I kind of think they relaxed, took their foot off the gas. But overall, all in all, they looked faster. They competed. They were where they're supposed to be defensively. Even J.R. Smith coming over, rotating, being in the right place. We haven't seen that from him pretty much, maybe a couple times in the finals. But during the regular season, he's always missing his assignments. And he was there. And I like what I see out of this Cavs team, even though they lost.
I agree. And that's what happens. I mean, I agree with you. They took their foot off the gas. And what happened was they had a 12-point lead, and they allowed Washington to make 8 straight shots. 5 of those were 3. So you go up, you're up 12. They go 8 straight shots, and now you're down 6 in under 5 minutes, a little over 5 minutes. And that can't happen. But I love how hard they play. They're a young team. They're more athletic. They're going to be able to close out. They'll be able to trap more. They'll be able to do more things. This is a make-or-miss league, Skip. And the thing was, LeBron had 6 assists in the first quarter. He had 2 the rest of the game because the guys, all of a sudden, the basket got small. Simple as that. But I like where they are. LeBron is reinvigorated. The guys love being there. They know their roles. We got to find a rotation because it seems like as soon as this, guess what? They'll get this thing ironed out right now, and then Kevin Love will come back in, and they have to start all back over again. But I'm not overly concerned. Give Washington credit. They played better than the Cavs last night. They won the game. But you saw that his head down right now, but you saw what he did.
You still got sniffles over there. Yeah. So, I very much disagree with both of your takes because I was shocked and disappointed and alarmed by what I saw, and I did not watch the same game Eddie saw because, as LeBron James said after the game, on defense we were flying around. I saw more floating around, and I'll give you the J.R. Smith play, and I'll give you that was unusual and out of character for him to come across like that and make that block. But do you realize that the Washington Wizards had 17 layups and 7 dunks last night? That'll lose every game.
Yeah.
Like back in the glory days of the Spurs when they would play against LeBron, the mantra was always no dunks. And they would go whole games in which they would not allow Miami or whoever they're playing, even when LeBron was a Cavalier, to dunk at all. You just can't allow it because it gets the crowd in the game. And in this case, it took the crowd out of the game again and again, and all the way to the Bradley Beal score at the end. Yeah. He just sort of waltzes down the lane. LeBron watched him. Everybody watched him, and he just laid the ball in. Yeah. That's horrendous defense that is not going to get you anywhere but beaten. And all of a sudden, the new Cavs that I like so much at Boston and at Oklahoma City looked a whole lot like the old Cavs because they go up. How many times do we see this early in the year? You go up 12 in the second quarter, and then what?
Right.
They got outscored 77-58 from that point on, at home, in the King's Palace.
They were up on Orlando. Remember, they were up big on Orlando.
How many times do we see that? Just blown leads. And now, this is incomprehensible to me, that LeBron James' team has now lost 15 straight games in which it trailed going to the fourth quarter. So not once in those 15 games has LeBron and company, and he obviously needs some help in the fourth quarter and got 0 help last night, but they've gone 15 straight where they can't come back and win in the fourth quarter. That's just wrong. And this was wrong last night, even though LeBron used up all his energy on the offensive end because he was terrific on offense, because he should have been, because they cannot begin to deal with LeBron James in the lane. They got nobody who can keep him from the rim.
They don't.
Nobody. So they got to play some defense, and the defense, the tone has to get set by the best player on the planet.
Yeah, well, if you look at it, the bench outplayed. Washington's bench outplayed Cleveland bench. Kyle Korver couldn't hit his shot. Rodney Hood was 3 for 7. Jeff Green was 2 for 6. And then you got 2 for 10 George Hill that's in the starting lineup. They're going to make shots. They're going to end up making shots. It was a tight game. I like the fact that they tightened up their defense after that second quarter. They were sloppy. I mean, look, they only 25, 28, 24. So
I just saw, too, when Washington would score, it was just easy scores.
Well, you know, a lot of times, though, if you think about it, these analytics are in. I've talked to a lot of personnel and things like that, and they tell me that they would much rather give up the deuce than give up the three. So a lot of guys are playing. If you look at the pick and roll, look how much the big is sagging, basically giving the whole lane to the guy to take up. He can get floaters or pull up at the free throw line. So some of that has to do with that as well. Everybody's changed up their game plan to really guard the three and give up deuces, which to me is really insane, because if you are in the league, you should be able to make a free throw line jump shot. And that's what they're giving up. You should be able to make a floater because you work on that all the time, and that's what they're giving up.
If you look at the game since John Wall has been out, Skip, Washington's averaging 30 assists a game. So they're moving the basketball. And because they don't have a ball-dominant player with the ball in his hands, you don't know. You know when John Wall has the ball, you can pretty much determine where it's going to go. But not everybody's playing hot potato and getting the ball out of the hand.
I'm going to say it again. I did not love John Wall coming out of Kentucky. I thought DeMarcus would be a better player, and I think he's proven to be. And they're starting to look like a better basketball team without him. I'm not saying Bradley Beal's better than John Wall or however you want to slice it, but their team plays better. Like Kelly Oubre plays a lot better without John Wall because he just gets involved, man. He gets his hand on the ball more.
But I don't know if they're a better team without John Wall. I mean, they're playing well. That's just like saying that Duke is playing well right now. Are they a better team without Marvin Bagley, the third?
No.
No way.
No.
So I won't say that they're a
look
better
at what
team.
Washington's
They're
done
playing
now.
better right now.
What are they up to? 8 out of 10 they've won?
They're playing better. They're playing better now.
They're playing better. No, but look,
they're not a better team.
Yep. How about listen? I know you want to heap all this blame on LeBron.
I'm not heaping. You do have to set some defensive tone, though, or you're gonna lose.
They're gonna win tonight.
It was the bench.
They better win.
It was the bench play.
Huh?
It was the bench play.
Look, I give you. Look, all of a sudden, I'm so hood.
Yes.
He got hoodwinked by Hood last night. I'm so hood last night in the fourth quarter plays 10 minutes and scores a goose egg. And Jordan Clarkson, who can be just explosive off the bench, plays 6 minutes in the fourth quarter and goose eggs. Okay, that won't work.
But George Hill did not. Go ahead.
Last night,
George Hill was 0 for 4 from 3.
They said, I forget who, I think it might have been Chris Webber last night on air was saying that it's a lot easier for new guys to come in and play on the road. Because you're always on the road. You know, you're playing, you're not in front of your home crowd. And he said, then when you come home, you kind of press a little bit. And maybe that's what we've seen with these guys. That's why they didn't shoot well, because they were pressing to make it.
And also, Shannon made a good point earlier in the show. It's such a long All-Star break now. Maybe you lost some of your mo. You know, like you took a whole week off.
A little bit of your rhythm. Yeah, a little bit of your rhythm.
Yeah, George didn't play good defense last night. He normally played better defense. He let that layup with 30 seconds by Bradley Beal.
That was
that was garbage.
He just let him go right around. I'm like, George, come on, bro.
What are you doing? It was like they were just like in slow motion through the game. Like we just show up in Cleveland. It's LeBron's Palace, and we got this.
Right.
No, you don't got this. You got to play just as hard as you played at Boston and Oklahoma City.
And then they get the great block by JR at the brim, and instead of just grabbing the ball, Kyle Korver slaps it down.
That's the type of night they were having right there.
I'm like, oh.
And then Mike Scott scores a big basket on LeBron James.
It was not. Skip, why you do that? Skip.
Mike Scott.
Well, stop
LeBron hit his hand on the rim.
Because he was guarding Marquise Morris.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.